Hi, Panda here. Nintendo's given us another direct full of new game announcements and updates on previously announced games. So here's the 6 games we're looking forward to most and some honourable mentions. Let's check them out. This is one I'm very excited for. Theatre Rhythm. Yes, the Theatre Rhythm series is back. So these games were originally on the 3DS and I have one on the 3DS and I love it so much. It's such a great rhythm game. There's a few different types of rhythm games. There's one where you're just like tapping the notes, but it's kind of like going along a line. That's usually for scenes where the characters are just walking. Then there's battle scenes that's like multiple tracks. And then there's like other ones that are more like Guitar Hero style. So I feel like a combination of these different types, the vast catalogue of songs, and the fact that it's all Final Fantasy. Now they have advertised there's going to be some other Square Enix games in there as well, which is great news, but just to have such a great collection of Final Fantasy music in a rhythm game is amazing. It's just so good and visually really cool as well. I really like the strange, cool, chibi like Final Fantasy characters. They're really cute. So overall I'm just like, this is the one, like my hands were on my mouth in shock when this got announced at the Nintendo Direct. So yes, definitely looking forward to this one. I will definitely put my high on my wish list to get it. Pikmin 4. There's not much to say about it at this point because they've literally just teased what looks like a wild garden area and one of the monsters asleep. But I loved Pikmin 3. Pikmin 3 was amazing on the Wii U and I'm really curious to see what they've added or changed and what Pikmin 4 is going to be all about because I really got engaged with the story in Pikmin 3. So here's hoping for some interesting characters in Pikmin 4. Wow, what a year for Kirby games. Now we've got Kirby's Return to Dreamland Deluxe that comes out next year. This looks amazing. This is a good remaster of Kirby's Return to Dreamland. I love the graphical look. It's got a 4-player local co-op and everyone can be Kirby with their own copy abilities. They've added a bunch of mini games and there's even a Mecha Kirby, which is brand new to this game, so it's interesting to see them adding new features. Plus they've added some new mini games, so I feel like this is a really good bundle. So yeah, overall I'm really excited to jump back into this Kirby adventure. Kirby 2D platform games are some of my favourite. They've been really good and they always seem to make them interesting or slightly different, and like I said, lots of Kirby games this year, and they did announce there was going to be another Kirby game as well. This is a good time for Kirby fans, so this is going to be high up on my list. We finally got a better look at Bayonetta 3. Seems like there's some reoccurring characters and some new fresh faces. I noticed some of the creature monster designs were new as well, so this is a refreshing take. But the combat seems to be still as good as ever, which is the main draw of Bayonetta. I really loved playing through Bayonetta 2 again recently. I found the combat to have a good flow and I really liked all the characters. They're a little bit over the top, but I think that's what makes them so interesting and fun to play with. It is a fun game, so I'll be interested to see what kind of levels and scenarios and environments to go to. At the moment they just showed like a destroyed city by some type of war going on, so I'm curious to see how that plays in the story. People who saw my live stream of Bayonetta 2 recently saw how impressive some of the action scenes can be. There was one where like a bridge was being destroyed and you were on top of a train. So I'm curious to see how wacky the new levels get, and people might remember from the first Bayonetta, you were like battling on a clock tower that was falling. I'm curious to see what sort of interesting levels and battle scenarios that come up for this one, because they use so many ideas in 1 and 2. I'm always like, I wonder what they could possibly do next. So I'm definitely looking for this. This is also another one high on my list. Crisis Core Final Fantasy VII is a remake of a PSP game, which I never got to play, so I'm looking forward to this. It's also using the battle style and sort of like the graphical style from the new Final Fantasy VII remake, so I really enjoy the combat system from that, so I'm looking forward to them sticking that combat system in Crisis Core. We get to find out more about Zack, how is he linked to Cloud and Sephiroth, and just more of the world of Final Fantasy VII is always good. It's a game where basically if they made a card game or a board game or a racing game, I'd probably play it. I'll be honest, I'm one of those Final Fantasy VII fans that if there's content for it and it's on a device I can play, I'm probably going to check it out. The only ones I tend not to play are the mobile phone ones, so I'm glad this is a Final Fantasy VII spin-off that is coming to consoles, and it'd be great on the Switch, play it on the go, and the TV. So I'm really looking forward to this, and I hope it meets my expectations, which is basically, I just hope it's more Final Fantasy VII Remake style, to be honest. Fire Emblem Engage. This is an interesting choice for me. As someone who's not really played a Fire Emblem game, I've dabbled in a few, but I can tell you why I'm excited for this. Now, not only is a new Fire Emblem for the Switch, I think visually it looks cool, impressive. It also keeps its hardcore main gameplay, doesn't seem to be affected. This turn-based tactical battle game. You move on like a grid base. I think when it zooms in for like the battles between individual units looks really cool. The story looks fantastic. I don't know what's going on, but visually it's impressive. It's like having an anime on screen. And I think that's one of the appeals. I feel like maybe it's slightly over the top, but in the good anime way that makes you engaged. There's also returning characters, brand new heroes, and I feel like all this combination of music, gameplay, and visuals is something that made me want to go, hey, I might want to get into Fire Emblem. And this may be my stepping stone into it. And I feel like with a lot of Switch games, because the Switch has got to a larger audience now, it may be the first time for lots of people getting into certain Nintendo properties. And I feel like if Nintendo does this well, maybe with difficulty settings or accessibility settings, they might be able to grab an even larger audience. Because Fire Emblem is one of their hidden gems that I know is getting more popular now, but to think that we never used to get Fire Emblem here in the West. So this, for me, is on my list. I want to jump in. I'm a little bit daunted by the gameplay and the grandeur of the story, but I think this is a good opportunity to step into the Fire Emblem series. And there you go, there's just a selection of a few games I'm really looking forward to. I just want to give a quick shout out to a few other games. Fae Farming and Harvestella are great 2 farming sims. Harvestella adding some Final Fantasy style combat. Fae Farming looks just really cute, and for some reason the characters really remind me of my Sims, and they got a cute chibi look to them, and lots of exploring as well in both of these games. Also a shout out to The Legend of Zelda. Yes, we finally got some more information, a trailer and a subtitle for the new Zelda game. But they didn't really show too much off, so there wasn't much to talk about. I'm waiting until a bit nearer the time to speak more about it in depth. So thank you for joining me. I've been Panda. Remember to like and subscribe. Thank you to our patrons and Twitch subscribers. You can find out more information on how to become a patron and Twitch subscriber in the links in the description below. So thank you for joining me. Enjoy the rest of the day, and we'll see you next time. Bye.